everybody, welcome to Biology 1012. I just want to give you a quick overview about how to handle setting up your digital lab notebook. Some of you may have never had to keep a notebook in biology before. Some of you have had to write in a composition book, or some of you have had to turn in lab reports. And we're going to try this digital lab notebook. We hope that you like it. And I'm just going to give you a quick how-to from this page. This is going to be where you're going to get into your student portal. Okay. All you have to do is click current students, and then you'll scroll down and you have a student portal. You're going to go ahead and enter it in. And because I'm not a student, it's going to look a little bit different. And once we go ahead and log in, you're going to find email, D2L login, all the things. If you scroll down to the bottom, you have an important links tab. And in there, you have Microsoft Outlook 365 apps. Now, when I click on this, it doesn't come up for me. So we're just going to show you from getting in. You're going to head over to something that looks like this. You'll be inside your 365. Double check, make sure you're in the right account. You're not in a personal account or anything. And then we are going to OneNote. If you don't see OneNote, you might have these little dots right here. You can explore all your apps, but we're going to go to OneNote. Okay. Now, these are just a couple that I have for demonstration purposes, but we're going to do a new one because I really just want to show you from the very beginning. So we have a new notebook, new notebook, and I'm going to call this my name, first and last name, biology, sorry about that, 1012. And I'm going to click create. And it'll take it just a minute. And yes, I have a lot of tabs open, so mine moves a little slower. But it tells you right here, this notebook is empty. Okay, great. Well, let's build a section. When we're building our sections, basically what we're trying to do is every section is going to be a different lab. Okay, every section will be a different lab, and every page are all your contents for that lab. All right, so for our very first meeting, our very first lab is going to be our introductory. We're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to talk about the syllabus, about some lab safety. We're going to make sure that our quizzes are taken care of in D2L, and we're going to do an activity. So it's going to look a little bit different for the first one, but let's add our section. We're going to call this, our introduction / syllabus. Well, we can't do a slash. Okay, introduction and syllabus, maybe? Introduction and syllabus. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So we have page. Now this page is untitled. You put the title right here above the date. Now for this, I'm going to put maybe my syllabus. All right. And just click enter. That'll take you where you want to be. All right. So let's add a page. Our next page is going to be our lab safety. All right. We'll add a page. We're going to call this one devices. Let's call it and lab notebooks. Let's not try to confuse ourselves, Samantha. There we go. All right. And then we're going to do one more for this one, and we're going to call it our activity. All right. Excuse me. That's going to be all that we're going to have for the first one. It's going to be a little bit different than everything else that we're going to do. I'm going to get you through this. We're going to do this together in class. If you come and it's prepared and it's right, that's fantastic. I'm going to get you to help other students that are at your table. Otherwise, we're going to take care of this, and then we're going to move on to our next one. So if you have it set up, we're going to talk about how to get stuff in there. Okay. So for your syllabus, the first thing that you're going to need to do is, if I'm in our D2L, let me go to our course home. All right, this is our D2L. If I go to our D2L and I go to week 1 housekeeping, this is a really cool thing that we can, or a really cool checklist is the word I'm looking for. But we go to biology syllabus. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to download it. Okay, you know you need your syllabus. I'm not reading it right now. I've read through it 15 times already, so I don't need to necessarily read it right now. But We just downloaded it. We're going to go to our downloads. There we go. Now, what I want to do with this is I want to enable editing, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. Let's save it. I'm going to actually put it in I have a biology tab, and then I have little 10, 12. I'm overly organized, and don't mind me. I'm just going to rename it just so I know. My biology 10, 12 syllabus. All right. I'm going to put that here, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to save it as a PDF, and I'm going to show you. There's a method to my madness. Just bear with me. I'm going to put it right back in I do a lot of chemistry, y'all. There we go. Put it right back into my bio. Here we go. And right there along with, there we go. All right. So now it's saving as a PDF. It's fantastic. All right. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. I can close this. I don't even need to look at it right now. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back over to my OneNote, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm sorry about all the emails, y'all. It's first day of class and everybody needs something. There we go. And I'm just going to click down here. And when I click down here, I can go to Insert. And I'm going to put File. Insert File Printout is what I need. If you insert File Attachment, we're not going to have access to what we need to grade for you collectively, Professor Rogers and I. But you're going to insert file printout. Insert file printout. I'm going to go and just pull it just like I had it. And the one that I want to use is my PDF, not my Word document. All right, so we're going to give that just a minute. I just decided on a whim just now that I need to have one in here that's going to be called Lab Schedule. All right, so we'll go back to our syllabus. It's uploading. Give it just a few minutes. It takes a little bit of time. There's a lot of information. So we're going to do the exact same thing for our lab schedule. Our lab schedule is also listed in week 1 housekeeping. I said it was, but maybe I didn't upload it. That's okay. I'll get that uploaded. You guys are going to just do the exact same thing in your lab schedule as you did for your syllabus. Your syllabus is still counting. It takes a few minutes, and that's okay, as it should. There's a lot of pages, a lot of information, but it's really cool. There it is. It's really cool to have at your fingertips in the middle of, chaos. You might not want to have to log in or whatever the case may be, but you have it readily available to you. For me, I kind of I scale it down a little bit if I could possibly do that. But now I have my syllabus. I know exactly how to get in touch with my professor. I have the emails, whatever I need, all the expectations. And as a matter of fact, if you're looking through the syllabus, which Professor Rogers will do with you on the first day, you will see just in here, you will see about lab notebooks and about how to build them. There's your lab safety, all the things, and I'm trying to get, without moving too fast to make anybody dizzy. All right, you have laboratory guidelines, and then guidelines for keeping a digital laboratory notebook. This will give you all the information that I'm giving you in this video. So it is in here. You can find it, and if you plug it in, I will get that schedule uploaded as soon as I'm done making this video. We're going to do the same thing for lab safety. I have a document that I will upload for you, and I'd like you to put it in your lab safety tab. And then devices and lab notebooks. I don't know that we actually need that, but I threw that in there. So when we're finished with our activity, we will scan whatever paper we're writing on that Professor Rogers gives us. We'll scan it to a PDF and we will upload it here. Okay, so these you have right at your fingertips. It's nice to have a syllabus and a lab schedule right where you need it. But that takes care of that. Let's go ahead and worry about the next round, okay? What we want to do is show you exactly what we're looking for when it comes to our lab. Okie dokie. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section. And this is going to be the name of the lab. So for week 2, which is going to be our first lab, it's in mechanisms of evolution. There we go. There we go. And I'll click OK. My goodness. My untitled page. The first title is going to be, well, I guess let me show you this. We're going to go back over here. And what we have is in week 2, mechanisms. We have a pre-lab reading and a pre-lab assessment. Your pre-lab assessment are the questions that you need to put into your PDF document. So again, I think for me, basically what I did was I went in and copied and pasted. So if I go to my pre-lab questions, this tells you right here, answer the following questions, your corresponding section, bold capitalized words, which are going to be right here, your pre-lab questions, okay? Now, you're in your digital lab notebook. If you have questions, reach out to me. You're going to reach out to slewis@highlands.edu for help on the lab notebook. Professor Rogers and I are collaborating in this class, and so, you know, if you have questions about the lab notebook, you let me know, and if you have questions about biology, you reach out to Professor Rogers. You'll also need to upload required pictures, any videos watched that you found helpful in the appropriate section of your lab notebook. Even if they're not GHC videos, you need to have those videos in your notebook. Okay, you can copy and paste the link to the video, and it should show up right on your page. You're going to feel free to copy and paste these questions into your lab notebook. Now you can see when I go to highlight this, it does something funky. If you download this, you will have a good copy and it's not as funky, but I got it to work. Right click, copy over to our lab notebook, and I'm calling this page the procedure. So if you will look, okay, so we're in our pre-lab assessment. We created we have mechanisms of evolution. Sorry. And then what you're going to do is you have a bold, italicized, capitalized words, and that's these right here. Okay, these little sections right here. These are going to be your sections in your notebook, and you're going to have to complete these tasks in that notebook, okay? So let's go back over the notebook. We know it's the purpose of the experiment. So we're going to go here. I'm going to say purpose. There we go. Then we're going to add another page, and that's going to be our that's going to be our questions. Let's go back over and just double check. Pre-lab assessment questions. So we can just call this questions. All right, then we're going to add a page, and it's going to be our real world application. Add another one, and we can bounce over here and see what they are. I just happen to have a list of them, right? So real world application, and then we have a lab report. So we'll go right over here. We're also going to do pictures, and we'll let Professor Rogers get a little bit deeper into that during class. And we have our lab report. And we'll upload our lab report. It's going to be scanned to a PDF document. We will upload it just like we did our syllabus and our introduction and our syllabus. Okay, so that's going to be just the breakdown. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say there's 6 to 8 complete sentences in your own words. Don't copy the information. And we're just going to throw that on here just because what if I don't remember, right? There we go. How funky it is if you don't download it. It might be a little funky like this, but this is what happens if we download it. We're going to go to our questions. I will copy and paste those questions really quick, and then I have to answer those questions. They come from your pre-lab reading. So if you have questions, make sure that you're reaching out to Professor Rogers for biology questions, and you're reaching out to myself, I am Samantha, for your any kind of notebook questions or anything like that. I'm trying to copy and paste. Here we go. There we go. Copy, throw it in the lab notebook for questions, and then I'm just going to answer my questions here, right? It's like copying funky, but that's okay. There are my questions, okay? So I'm going to need to answer all these questions. The idea, you want to change your font color so we can read it. If we can't read it, then we can't grade it, and that will be not great. There you go. So that's it. Your real world application, you can find all that information right here and what that means in a paragraph. Tell us about a real world application for whatever lab that we're doing. This one happens to say sig figs, but we know it's mechanisms of evolution. And then, of course, the lab report, and you'll upload all the pages in one PDF document. If you're struggling, reach out to either myself, you have the email, or Professor Rogers. Her email is in the syllabus. And we look forward to helping you along your way in your journey in 1012.